Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Shirazi, a board-certified dermatologist, and today I want to talk about 3 beauty trends that are toxic, that need to go away. These are treatments that I've seen advertised. Some of them you can do at home, but there are some great risks with it, so I want to go over them and talk about the pros and cons and why there may be more risks than good out of these treatments. Before we get started, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a new video. The first one is BB Glow, and you may have seen this on social media where people are using microneedling to tattoo foundation into the skin for this no makeup look. And it's supposed to hide blemishes and give you a nice even tone color and glow. Well, I am a big fan of microneedling. It helps a lot with texture and tone, but microneedling foundation into your skin, let's talk about why that might be a really bad idea. It's actually quite scary because these pigments, the foundation that they're using, has over 42 different ingredients, and some of them are chemicals that can do a lot of damage to the skin. Many of them are non-degradable, meaning they can't be broken down. This is also a setup for immune reactions months to years later. Because these are foreign things that get embedded into our skin, your immune cells will try to break it down. And if they can't break it down, what happens is they form sort of a wall around it, something called a granuloma. And in the skin, they look like hard knots or nodules. It could actually cause some disfiguring down the line. It's also a setup for infection because sometimes you can get contaminants and things in these pigments that then you're embedding an infection deep into the skin. And if that's not enough, if you ever decide to get a laser treatment on your face, let's say you want to do laser hair removal, what happens is because a lot of these pigments have titanium dioxide, once the laser beam hits the skin, it will turn the skin black or a dark color. And that can be really difficult to remove. You have to use other types of lasers to try to remove that. So think about that. If you ever want to do a laser treatment, there could be a risk for discoloration. So that temporary brightening effect that you may see is definitely temporary, because the other thing that happens is the pigment eventually fades and there could be some level of scarring just from the procedure itself. And I also want to say the EU recently banned 4,000 inks, meaning that they determined that these inks that were used for tattoos could be possible carcinogens, mutagens, and so I'm not a huge fan of tattooing your face with makeup. Number 2, Plasma Fibroblasting. This is a tightening treatment that is presented as an alternative to lasers, and it uses microelectrocurrents to shrink the collagen, heat it, and initiate a wound healing response in the skin, which then gets your fibroblasts, which are the cells in your skin that produce collagen, to produce collagen. And so you have this treatment, you're left with swollen, red skin and lots of these little charred black dots, almost like black scabs, that heal in about 5 to 7 days. The problem with this, I guess I'm biased because I see a lot of people coming into my office with permanent scars from this. It's almost like a hot branding iron, if you will. There's not a lot of control, and it's highly technique dependent, meaning that yes, there are some good results, there may be some good results, but there's also a lot of bad results, permanent scarring results that a lot of people regret having the treatment done. You can also have persistent redness from the treatment because it uses heat and it causes the skin to heal with red skin. Some people are prone to redness and they may stay red for months. And if you're darker skin, you might end up with hyperpigmentation or hypopigmentation, meaning white spots, almost like white polka dots, is what I've seen from this treatment. And this is all because there's a lot of heat involved and it's really not controlled. Some people may actually deliver more energy, or you may deliver more energy in one area versus the other area. So be really cautious. If you are going to do this treatment, I would suggest avoiding the area around the mouth. The eyelids tend to do better. They're more forgiving. And older skin tends to do better than younger skin. And looking at the literature, it's still inconclusive if it really has any long-term benefits And so the research and the data are still out. It's a newer treatment, but I would say hold off on it. Lastly, the Hyaluron Pen. This is the best one. And this one I really want to see go away. And it might actually happen because the FDA has issued a warning on these pens. If you're not familiar with it, these pens force hyaluronic acid into the lips or into the skin. They're considered non-invasive, but that's an unfair statement because how can the filler get into the skin without breaking the skin? So even though it doesn't use a needle, it's still very much invasive. So it's really hard to control how much filler is going in, what plane in the skin the filler is being placed, so where is it really going, and more importantly, what is the filler? Filler is not FDA approved. What if you get it stuck in a blood vessel and you're doing this to yourself at home? You get it stuck in a blood vessel and the tissue can no longer be oxygenated, and you can have kind of parts of the skin dying off, part of your lip dying off. I find it to be very dangerous. So essentially, you're forcing a foreign, unregulated gel into your lip. You don't know what plane it's going in. You don't know how much is going in. So this is really a setup for disasters. I'm talking about scarring, disfigurement, immune reactions down the line, infections. Remember that your skin is very immunogenic. It has all these white blood cells, these immune cells that if they detect something foreign in the skin, they're gonna wanna try to wall it off, and they're gonna form these hard knots underneath the skin. So be very cautious of this. If you really want plumper lips, use a lip plumper. I understand that fillers are expensive, but these really should be done by professionals in a medical office setting. These are still real medical procedures, and fillers are somewhat of, an implant. So you want to be very careful about how you are placing it and how much you're placing and your technique and exactly where it's going to go. It shouldn't be this kind of, cannonball of filler into your lips. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful, and comment below. Let me know if you've ever had any of these procedures, because I'm sure there are some people that have had it done, have had no problems, but I am talking to sort of the mass population of people and the potential for the risks. It's always good to think about those before you embark on any procedure. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And if you have a video topic, comment below. Thanks for tuning in.